Hello, beautiful awakened soul. I'm Samantha of Senses of the Soul, and this is my April 2022 Ascension Energies Update. Well, things are really heating up out there in the world and in the ascension process. I'm recording this at the end of March, and we've already had many solar flares and CMEs this week, which is supporting us to have the massive upgrade that is coming in April and May. This is the biggest upgrade of the year. So it's important for you to look after yourself and be prepared, because our body is getting hit very hard as we go through this month and upgrade again and again. We're already upgrading constantly, but there are times where it comes in even more so, as it will, and it is this week and onward. We're in a very intense solar cycle. It has essentially 40 plus times our solar cycle has gone up since 2017, 2018. So we are in a lot of energy that's coming through in order to rapidly shift consciousness in this year of cataclysm. April's theme is shine your light. This is the time for you to shine your light as you continue to see through all of the illusion in the world. We are all here to make a difference. We are all here to be together and united, moving into a new age, the age of love and the age of Aquarius. And the key words this month are spiritual integrity, and we're going to be tested to be in that integrity as we continue forward, and finding our balance, okay, within ourselves, within our masculine, feminine, within our spiritual and earthly self, within spiritual and soulful self. And we're also moving into beginnings, new beginnings. Many of you are heading into new beginnings in your life, or have already started and are going to continue to see momentum build in that area. So you'll kind of feel this month like you're wired and tired. There'll be times you have energy and other times you don't, especially as this influx of energy comes through when we have solar flares, for example, or as we go through the moons. We also have a meteor shower this month, and we will have an eclipse at the end of the month, at the very end. And that's going to start eclipse season, which is another set of eclipses that is going to, again, for some people, dramatically change their destiny. For others, it'll shift them to the next stage of a destiny that's already being woven. So depending on where you are in that is going to depend how you will be affected. And as a matter of fact, my birthday falls on the second eclipse in May. So this is a big year of change for me, absolutely. You'll have to see what it is for you. Let me know. I always like to hear comments below. So please reach out and don't be afraid to put any comments below. I love hearing from you, and we're all on this journey together. So you'll have noticed, and it really started again this week, but the wounded masculine in us is continuing to be brought together with the light in order to be softened, in order to feel that, to come up and heal it, to see it, to love that parts of ourselves that we don't really see as shiny, to see pieces that we know need to be integrated, and we have the consciousness around them. And that in itself just helps us to heal. And we're seeing that in other prominent figures around the world. So you will have seen just this week, we had Will Smith and Chris Rock at the Oscars, where Will Smith hit Chris Rock, and that brought up a huge amount of shift in how we think and see. So many people are still black and white about it, but a majority of people are now saying, hey, I can see both sides. And you know what kind of person do you want to be? Where is your integrity in this? How could you have handled this situation better while still being in your truth? So that is, again, a lot of what we will be looking for, living and seeing in others and ourselves as we go through this month. And that ties into the archetype of the spiritual warrior. So the spiritual warrior archetype is one of the main archetypes that I said we would be embodying this year as we go through this ascension process. And the aspect of the spiritual warrior is walking your talk. It's being in your truth, living your truth, saying what you need to say without pulling others down, without telling other people how to live their life, by simply living your life, and you're an inspiration and a light for others. And that is where we're moving to. That's the service piece as we go further and further into this ascension process. And again, as we move into that and we leave the old masculine dominated society behind that we've had, and again, this, you know, applies to all of us, whether you're male, female, or however you identify. We all have those aspects within us, and some show more than others, depending on your woundedness, depending on what you carried through into this lifetime. So we're all working through that. None of us is better than the other in that, other than sometimes others, like people who are more prominent in figures in the world, you'll see that in them. They are a good example of the shadow that is in all of us. And so it's good to be reflective on that when it comes through versus condemning. Reflective in terms of, where do you sit in that? You know, where are you lacking integrity? Or where were you in your integrity? How can you be better in your integrity? That's a big piece of what we're going to be working on this month. And as we move through and embrace more of the divine feminine, as she comes on along with the divine masculine, we are going to embrace these co-creative values of love and compassion and community and tolerance. We're not going to be able to see within, or we will see within others and ourselves, where we're not in alignment with this. So anything that's in that old paradigm of values is going to continue to show cracks, right? So that it can be healed, because our culture as it is very dysfunctional and fragile and broken. It already was, but now we're really seeing it. We're seeing where there is more of a narcissistic type of bent in our culture, and where it's literally bent, and where we are having to take a look at, do we actually serve, or just are we self-serving? So that's a big piece that will come up. So take a look at that in yourself this month, and you will probably see a few more examples that come out in the media that will shine a light on that, so that we all can heal through that experience. That's the point of this. We're all healing through anything that's happening, because a little piece of us is in that, or in them, or in that person. So see what happens for you on that level. And if you want to know more about the co-creative values and the value system that we are embracing, I have that on page 41 of my book. And it's coming out more and more in us, that we are realizing how disconnected we are from one another, and how disconnected we are from the earth and from the cosmos. So as I've said, going forward, we have to absolutely cultivate our sense of spirituality in order to make sense of what's happening in a world that seems nonsensical, and actually was always nonsensical, but we're just really waking up to that fact, and more light is being shed on it. So again, this upgrade that we're having is going to occur a lot this month and next month. And it has to do with us having the soulful and spiritual self come together in oneness, in sacred union. And that's the journey that we need to complete in order to embody and start living this new value system, this new co-creative value system, because we can't bring it online if we're still in separation. There's no way we can do that. And in being separate, this is what causes all of our suffering. So again, there's more that you will be attuning to, and you'll find that your nervous system is becoming very, very sensitive. And especially if you're, already very empathic, intuitive, and I do feel we all have aspects of that, but some more than others, right? And psychic, but that's growing more and more. And the whole point is that we attune more to what is going on in the ethers and around us, very much like animals and plants do. That's why I love plant medicine and vibrational medicine through plant medicine, because it attunes us to what we should already be attuned to, but have lost because we were living in separation, because we were taught to lead with the mind and not the heart. We were taught to lead with our thoughts and what we were told through conformity versus what we attune to through the sensory system, right? And that comes through the central nervous system, through the spine, through the brain, through the heart, through all parts of us. And we attune to these higher frequencies. So essentially what you're going to see grow more in you this month is, aside from you embracing that spiritual warrior, right, where you are courage and in right action, and you move through in your truth, and you walk your talk, and take a look where you are doing that and where you're not doing that, and how you can continue to fine tune that, because we're all works in progress. And then also continue to attune as you go through this upgrade. You'll see your nervous system might be more frazzled, so take care of that. I know there's different ways to do that. Keep cleansing your field. Your field's going to be broken down and be reattuned and upgraded as we go through this month. And you'll probably be overwhelmed much more quickly in your nervous system. So again, slow down. Even though we're moving into the cosmic cycle of creation, which is fire, where things are really going to start moving forward, right? It's important to have that balance and slow down and check in with yourself, because you will become very easily overwhelmed and overexcited. As I said, especially if you're very sensitive. And you can just even see that in your animals. You know, they're also moving through this process. So again, look after them that way too. Don't overwhelm your children. We cannot do as much as we used to do anymore, because this is about being. And as you move through this month, you'll be shining your light. And believe me, no matter how insignificant you may feel it is, it's needed right now. We need all of us to be awake, conscious, and making the changes that we need to in our world, and treating each other with respect and kindness and understanding, and really listening to each other. So again, this is about non-judgment, about acceptance, okay? And creating your reality. And the fire cycle is about engagement and DNA remembrance and being the true self. And very much an increased level of accountability for thoughts, words, and actions when you're on your soulful path. So the universe is going to challenge you more as we go forward, because of how, again, how much we're shifting. And there'll be maybe fiery waves of emotion. That's that fire cycle. But instead of taking it out on each other, the challenge is to direct that energy. Where do you want to direct it? And you can direct it towards passionate love, you know, towards creative projects and new ideas. So it all depends on where you want to direct that. And that will, again, then help you with that outcome. And again, looking after the self in this self-caring, then you'll have that balanced effort and then more directed action. So that's the challenges of being in the cosmic cycle. If we really take advantage of that, then we can move forward on our path in such a beautiful way. So this is the biggest upgrade in the year. So give yourself room for that. And again, there'll be times you can move forward, but then you need to rest and pull in and self-care, right? And continue to hone your sense of self-worth and self-respect, because that will be wavering a bit this month as you move forward. But all of it is incredible. All of it is teaching us patience and surrender, respecting divine cycles, being in that oneness, all right, attuning to the rhythms of the universe, and really releasing control. That is the beautiful gifts as we move forward in this ascension process. So the products that I have this month that I am recommending are the Spiritual Warrior Essence. So that helps you to keep you in that vibration of spiritual integrity and impeccability in divine choices, and supports mental and emotional fortitude as we go forward. I'm also recommending my Fire Element Essence. So that helps you in that cosmic cycle of creation to support your growth, your accountability, your soul pathwork engagement, and your connection to the divine feminine. And then I'm recommending my Cosmic Consciousness Protection. It's one I use all the time with the solar flares. It really clears the field, and it also supports that oneness alignment that's coming online so quickly and intensely over the next 6 weeks. And also my Celestial Healing Soak. Epsom salt baths daily work really well. You know, this Celestial Healing Soak I have, it really supports universal awareness when you're in the bath and alignment. It clears toxic energies around you. You know, you can also put some salt in your bath when you have a bath. That also helps clear your field. And make sure you drink lots of healing teas this month, lots of water. You can do some cleansing this month if you feel you have the energy, because we certainly will need that. And that allows you to upgrade even more and more through this. So again, if you want to learn more about the psychospiritual symptoms and physical symptoms for this month, head over to my Ascension Energy Update on my website. There's lots more in there, along with the cosmic date specifically. and other lovely Ascension goodies for you. So thank you so much for watching today. And as I said, we're all in this together. So please reach out, put comments below, tell me how your process is going. And we learn from one another. All right. I'm sending you so much love and healing this month. And I will see you in May.